On April 2015, Department of International Relations at Universitas Gadjah Mada and School of Political Science and International Studies at University of Queensland are collaboratively organizing an international conference with the theme of Bandung Conference and Beyond. We are so excited to be in this partnership because with University of Queensland, because we believe international collaboration in knowledge producing activities indeed can be a gateway for further action to tackle many challenges that we face nowadays as a global society.
It is already in the history book, Asia and Africa Conference that was held in Bandung in 1955. That was a very important moment for nations in Asia and Africa. For the first time they met, for the first time they discussed the problem from the point of view of the colonized. For a very long time we know each other from the point of view of the colonizers. Now that we have been 60 years after Bandung, we learn a lot more about this. And the university from Australia, from Indonesia, people from the University of Australia and Indonesia will gather in Jakarta to discuss Asia and Africa issues from the perspective of the now we call the South. And because most of us are academicians, we will speak more about the issue of Asian and African interests from the perspective of the South. In other social science activities in Gadjah Mada, at Gadjah Mada University, we have done this kind of endeavor before. We have rewritten the history of Indonesia, not from the point of view of the Western scholar who has produced a lot of things, a lot of studies about Indonesia. We created a new perspective of looking at Indonesian history from the perspective of Indonesian. And the result was very different picture. When we learn from the Western historian, Western scholar who studied Indonesian history, what we got was the story about court, about the ruling class, about the kings and princes. But when we rewritten Indonesian history from the perspective of the common people, we have the history of Indonesia so different. We then created a new knowledge about Indonesian history from the perspective of Indonesian, and we now know that much of the struggle for independence was done by common people, by the peasant, by the laborer, by rural population, and those kind of things. So that we will use this as an example of how to see international relations from the perspective of the South. The lesson learned of Bandung Conference of 1955 is the spirit of the leaders of these two continents, the leaders of the new nation that try very hard to refocus, to review, to look the problem differently from what they did before. For a very long time, Asians and Africans were looked upon by the European as part of their colonial empire. But now, nations of these two continents would like to see themselves from their own perspective. That spirit that we want to do here. We would like to see that the way we study about things international, with the way we see about our future, will be determined by what we see on our place here. Meaning that Indonesians would like to see international politics from Indonesian point of view. The South people, Asian, African and other nations outside of Europe will see the problem for their own perspective.
On a more practical level, we hope that we can critically investigate the importance of the 1955 Bandung Conference in shaping global politics and draw possible lessons for the current South-South cooperation. What kind of South-South cooperation model that can better serve the interests of the state against the challenges of the current global politics, and what lessons the Bandung Conference could offer to envision a better South-South cooperation. The upcoming conference in April 2015 is therefore a reminder for us, the Global South, to maintain our contribution to South-South cooperation and the transformation of international politics at large.
Sampai jumpa di Yogyakarta.
Sampai jumpa di Yogyakarta.